Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now April 23rd of 2025, and given that the Meghan Markle drama continues over at Netflix, we know that those like CEO Greg Peters, along with the many executives, producers, and even the board of directors over there is a constant shakeup happening right now. There's a lot of division over at Netflix HQ, all because of Meghan Markle's nonsense, and this is just typical Markle behavior, right? We know that she's very self-absorbed, narcissistic, greedy, and especially we know that she's very much a control freak when it comes to productions, right? This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So we already know that With Love Meghan Season 2 is what they like to call it, but in reality it is just Season 1 Part 2. They are planning to drop this by this fall, right around September. You know, either within the first or second week of that month. That's the overall plan right now by Netflix. But what's interesting about this even further exactly has more to do with what happened with Meghan Markle recently, what she got caught doing, and exactly what kind of consequences actually came her way in the entire process between herself and Netflix. Let's get into this. Now, one interesting factor about all of this is that we already know that Meghan Markle is in the hot seat and has been in the hot seat for a couple of weeks now by the many Netflix executives, producers over there overseeing the project, right? Overseeing With Love Meghan, quote-unquote, Season 2, because they are going to be doing additional filming by this June. It's going to be quite costly because they want to elongate every single episode. But what's interesting about this is the fact that Meghan Markle doubled down and recently got herself into some trouble, and this is exactly why Meghan Markle doesn't seem to get it, doesn't seem to actually understand the entire process. But let's get into this. Now, with the Meghan Markle drama continuing to get worse, both behind the scenes and in the public eye, one major development that is now active involves more to do with Meghan Markle herself and her recent situation where she got in serious trouble. Now, with the second season of her series still in the works over at Netflix, which in reality is just Season 1 Part 2, Meghan, however, was recently caught doing something that angered the board of directors at Netflix, even the ones that usually fully support her. It turns out that since Markle does hold some creative power for With Love Meghan Season 2, she recently got caught by Netflix executives by arranging scenes and pre-planning filming schedules with other types of celebrities that were not approved by Netflix executives and producers. This in turn got back to the board, where they took action against Meghan Markle in a very swift move where they decided to act accordingly and strip her of her creative power for the first half of the season that is planning reshoots for this June. Now, it turns out that Meghan went, of course, behind the board's back and decided to actually gather certain celebrities and promise them cameos in her show. This was all never discussed, mind you, with Netflix officials, and they were informed about this through the agents and managers of those very celebrities. The board decided to cancel an entire segment from Markle that will no longer be filmed that was going to involve Markle to go shopping on Rodeo Drive in California. This entire scene was scrapped immediately by the board and executives as a form of not just retaliation against Meghan Markle, but also that the scene was going to be too time-consuming to shoot within the desired time frame that Netflix had in mind. Now, this punishment toward Meghan Markle reportedly sent her into a frenzy, where she demonstrated multiple moments of outrage in the most recent creative meeting over with Love Meghan Season 2, and that now the Netflix board members have already expressed to Meghan Markle personally that they believe it is more than likely at this point that they will actually have to go with their separate ways by not renewing her contract beyond 2025. This in turn is already causing Meghan to double down by planning multiple meetings with Amazon to pitch other shows, including her reality TV series and or programs of her own, since of course everything is happening over at Netflix right now as her contract is actually looming in expiration. Now guys, let me just say one thing about this. Now, the fact that Meghan Markle has the audacity to believe that she has so much creative power that she doesn't have to tell the board, she doesn't have to tell the producers and the executives, more importantly over at Netflix, about which celebrities that she's gathering, which celebrities that she was in the talks with to actually make cameos onto her show. Now, this was said to be a mixture of minor celebrities to major celebrities that were going to hop on episodes 6, 7, and 8, But mind you, at the same exact time, you have to bring this up to those that are backing the project, to those that are handling the project. And this is exactly what I mean by how Meghan Markle is very narcissistic. She believes that she can just do whatever she wants, that, you know, she doesn't have to listen to anybody, she doesn't have to go by any rules at all. That's just typical Meghan Markle. And look, this is no different than what happened on the set. We all know that she had a lot of arguments on the set of With Love Meghan, quote-unquote, Season 1, where she was getting very angered, where they were actually doing multiple takes and things were getting all messed up in the process, and she wanted it done a very specific way. Again, she's very controlling. This is all Meghan Markle typical behavior. But again, the fact that the board and the executives, the producers, caught on to this because of those very celebrities and their agents and managers coming forward to Netflix HQ and filling them in exactly what was going on, that just goes to tell you how out of the loop and how Meghan Markle truly doesn't understand how the film industry works and how connected everybody really is within that little bubble. So again, there's a lot of things going on here with Netflix, and there's also a lot of things going on with Meghan Markle. She's already doubling down, like I said before, for her new reality TV show. She wants to get this over at Amazon, and I can only hope that Amazon has a better brain than anybody else in Hollywood right now to refuse this overall deal, to refuse this pitch, because it's not looking good so far. We already know that she got caught in that process as well by copying other shows like the Kardashians, the Real Housewives, and even the Osbournes, right? All those reality TV shows she actually mimicked with her pitch for the upcoming Meghan Markle reality show. But let's move forward. Now, Season 2 of With Love Meghan and its planned reshoots are now going to have far less creative power for Meghan Markle as opposed to just last week, after the board found out that Meghan, of course, did that specific thing behind their back. Now, the celebrities that Meghan promised that she would provide roles will also not be appearing in the second season, so that's good news. The board is now handing more creative power to the directors and writers of the series instead, as opposed to Meghan Markle. The fallout between both Meghan and Netflix was so serious that even she is now starting to actually drop her resistance against the board and is planning to go with other studios to star in other shows. Now again, the fact that we have more and more board members that are now beginning to wake up little by little, week by week, that once fully supported her, that were like ride or die supporters of her, they are now beginning to realize about how toxic she truly is. She's one to call people toxic for criticizing her show. This is the definition of someone that's toxic. I mean, look at how she was trying to sabotage the entire process, the entire creative and production process of filming a series. She went behind their back. She was pre-approving celebrity cameos where they basically were not even filled in about this. And it goes to show you that she believed that she had so much creative power that she could just do whatever she wants. Well, that's not true. She still has to run everything by the board. She has to run everything by the Netflix executives, the producers, writers, and directors who are handling this project. She never really had as much creative power as she once thought she did. So again, this is a very interesting turn of events that happened, because now you have more board members turning their back against Markle. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this entire process, this entire situation, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.